Pete the Cat, Crays Rock by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete loves his big box of groovy crayons. He loves to draw things like cars, trucks, flowers, and trees, and most of all, big blue sea. Rockin' red to cool cat blue, with a box of crayons, there's nothing Pete can't do. One day, Pete decided to draw something new. His friends. Using lots of colors is so much fun, Pete wanted to use every one. He scribbled and drew a great big smile. His drawings were groovy and rockin' with style. Crayons rock! Pete was proud of the pictures he drew. He hoped his friends would dig them too. Pete showed Grumpy Toad first. Grumpy Toad said, "That doesn't look right. Those colors are way too bright." Pete thought, "Hey, no sweat. That's all right. The next one will be dynamite." Pete showed Gus his picture too. Gus asked, "Who is this supposed to be? It doesn't really look like me." Pete thought, "Hey, no sweat. That's all right. The next one will be just right." Pete finally showed Callie her picture. Callie said, "This one is fine, but it feels like something's missing from mine." Pete said, "What a mess. Bummer. I guess my drawings aren't the best." Pete started to frown. He put his crayons down. In art class, the teacher asked, "Pete, what are you going to make?" "I don't know. I'm afraid of making a mistake." Pete looked around. Gus drew the coolest superheroes. Callie's flowers were awesome, out of sight. Grumpy's motorcycle was just right. Pete's heart sank. His paper was blank. The gang looked at Pete and said, "No sweat. It's all right. It doesn't have to be just right. Your art is cool because it's you. Your art is so unique. Grab your groovy box of crayons. Show us your technique." The teacher agreed. Art should be fun. Art is for everyone. From rockin' red to cool cat blue. With a box of crayons, there's nothing you can't do. Pete smiled. There are no rules. It's no big deal. Art is about how it makes you feel. Pete loved his cool art. That's the one thing Pete knew. Suddenly, Pete knew exactly what to do. He tried again. Instead of drawing them one by one, Pete drew the whole gang, just having fun. "Wow, way to go, Pete! That's a rockin' masterpiece." Grumpy Toad, Gus, and Callie agreed. Pete's picture was off the charts. See, that's the groovy thing about art. The best art comes from the heart. Crays Rock. If you ever want to bring a circus to the library, don't. By Elise, Parsley. If you see a poster that says you can do anything at the library, it means you can sit and read a book and use your imagination. It does not mean you can bring in a whole circus. If you set up your circus anyway, the librarian will remind you, don't let it get too noisy. You'll tell him that it's okay and that you know all the library rules. This circus will be safe and fun, and you'll only use your inside voice. Cross your heart. You'll start by wowing the crowd as an acrobat. You'll leap and twirl and balance on one foot. Then you'll do it again, only this time on a high wire. You'll leap and twirl, and you'll tell the audience to please hold their applause because you can do anything at the library except clap. Next up, your clown act. You'll ask for a volunteer from the audience to smash a pie in your face. You'll give your silliest look, and she'll wind up. That's when you'll surprise her with your spare. You'll have to remind the audience not to cheer. This is a library after all, and you can do anything at the library except clap and cheer. At intermission, you'll hand out concessions: peanuts, popcorn, egg and cheese sandwiches. Only, get this, it turns out you could do anything at the library except clap and cheer and hand out concessions. All right, you didn't want to do this, but you'll have no choice. You have got to dazzle this crowd, and you'll do it as the amazing human cannonball. You'll clip on your helmet and warn everyone to stay back. Then you'll count down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just so you know, if your cannon is a dud, you'll hear a kid say, "Boo." You'll start to shush him because you can do anything at the library except boo!
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 Boo! By now, of course, you'll wish you were sitting and reading and using your imagination instead of leading a circus. By now, you'd rather be scraping gum off some chairs than leading a circus. You will have to think of something quick before the crowd yells for you to just go home. Well, here's what I would do if I were you. Look for a way to distract them. You'll read about the 3 billy goats, and the booing will stop. You'll read about the hungry old troll, and the smiling will start. You'll begin shouting, "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" And a boom! Ah! Bam! Yeah! That's when you'll know it's time to take your show on the road. Yeah, if you ever want to bring a circus to the library, don't. It's way too noisy. Douglas, You Need Glasses by Admon. Nancy and Douglas were chasing squirrels. At least, Douglas thought he was chasing squirrels. You see, Douglas had always been a very nearsighted dog. His bad eyesight often got in the way of things. He missed important signs. Skate park, no dogs. Sometimes he even went home to the wrong house. But when a nice, innocent game of fetch ended in disaster, Nancy said, "That's it, Douglas. Come with me." "Why are you taking me to a shoe store?" asked Douglas. "Douglas, this is the eye doctor," Nancy said. "He's going to help you." "Now, Douglas," said the eye doctor, "tell me what you see." "Dinosaur," said Douglas. Crab? Flying saucer. Definitely a horse. Another dinosaur. That one's easy," said Douglas. "A squirrel." After the test, the eye doctor showed Douglas a cabinet full of glasses. "Come on, Douglas," said Nancy. "Try some on." At last, he found a pair that was just right. Perfect. On the way home, Douglas said, "Wow, everything looks amazing." And it was. Chickens to the Rescue by John Himmelman. On Monday, Farmer Greenstock dropped his watch down the well. Chickens to the rescue! "Those are some chickens," said Farmer Greenstock. On Tuesday, Mrs. Greenstock was too tired to make dinner. "Chickens to the rescue!" "What dear chickens you are," said Mrs. Greenstock. On Wednesday, the dog ate Geoffrey Greenstock's book report that was due the next morning. "Chickens to the rescue!" "Smart chickens," said Geoffrey Greenstock. On Thursday, Ernie the duck drove off with the farmer's truck. "Chickens to the rescue!" "Quack," said Ernie. On Friday, a big wind blew Milky the cow into a tree. "Chickens to the rescue!" "Moo," said Milky. On Saturday, the sheep wandered off and got lost. "Chickens to the rescue!" "Baa," said the sheep. On Sunday, Emily Greenstock spilled her breakfast all over the floor. Big mess here, if anyone's listening," she said. The Greenstocks went out to the chicken coop. The chickens were fast asleep. "Sleep well," said Emily. "You've earned it."
Thank you all for watching this here.